welcome back. I hope you're having a good day. I'm going to trim some of my Portulacaria Afras today. They are commonly called Dwarf Jade. I usually just refer to them as ports. Sometimes the Dwarf Jade, I feel like calling them Dwarf Jade confuses some people. They are not even in the same family that a real jade plant is in, or, a crassula plant. The only ports I've ever lost, one thing, they are tropical, and some people say, well, it's a true tropical. It's, it's actually a succulent, like any other succulent. But the only one of these I've ever lost is from this time of year, me getting a little out of hand with my pruning, and pruning it like a ficus. A ficus, you can take in the middle of the summer, cut it down to nothing. A couple weeks later, it's bounced back, and it's all ready to go. The only one of these I've ever killed is where I've cut one of these down to the bones, left very little green, and then what winds up happening is the trunk rots because the water really has nowhere to go. Remember, a succulent is storing water up here, and this is why they do so well in the desert and places like that. In that, and it rains, the water gets stored up here. They go through a season with no rain at all, and then these just they'll shrivel up, and that's the trunk using the resource that is stored up here. Where down here in Florida, if you were to just, right now we still have at least probably 3, 4, 5 weeks of rainy season left. Sometime, usually in the middle of October, it'll stop raining. But if I cut this guy down to its bones and left no green on it, well then there's no green for the water to escape. And if we have heavy rain days, it'll just, keep soaking in the trunk, and eventually, because the trunk has nowhere to push the water, it just rots out. It's kind of my theory anyway. But again, that's the only way I've ever lost one. Couple today. This one I'm definitely not going to. But a couple of them I am going to cut back maybe a little further than I should. And just so you know, I would protect those from the rain for at least a week or so until they start showing some green again. Most of these I'll just put right back out in the rain and the sun. And since I'm not really going to do cutting anything back to the bones like that, I'm just going to talk as little as possible. I'm just going to get in here and prune them up. Hopefully find some nice pleasant music for you guys to listen to.